vaccinated as early as Monday. Education Secretary Gavin Williamson says the jab passes the so-called mum test for him, saying he'd be keen for his own mother to take it.
Absolutely, and I'd certainly be encouraging everyone else to be having it, and I certainly hope that my loved ones will be also getting the vaccine. I definitely passed my mum's test.
The Belgian Prime Minister says the country will start administering COVID-19 vaccines on January the 5th if the medicines regulator signs off on the jabs. Tony Waterman has more from Brussels.
January 5th is the next big day on the coronavirus calendar. That's when Prime Minister Alexander De Croo expects the first Belgians to receive a COVID-19 jab. The EU's drug regulator says it will make a decision on the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine by the 29th of December. Exact details on how the vaccine strategy will be carried out and which groups will be first in line are still waiting approval. But even when the program starts, De Croo has warned that it will take time to inoculate all 11.5 million residents, which means safety measures will need to remain in place for a while yet. Governments across Europe are keen to show voters they have a vaccine plan in place and have a date on when inoculations will start after the UK leapfrogged them all on Wednesday, approving a vaccine which could be doled out next week. Tony Waterman, Brussels.
US President Donald Trump's hinted to supporters he's open to a presidential run in 2024. Donald Trump hasn't conceded the 2020 election, but his defeat does leave the possibility of another White House run in the future. William Denzelo reports from New York.
At a White House Christmas party, President Trump told supporters that it's been an amazing 4 years, that he's trying to do another 4 years, or otherwise he'll be back in 4 years' time. Citing a video taken at that event, Politico reports that those remarks were met with cheers from a largely maskless crowd. And in his remarks, the president once again made claims that the 2020 election was rigged. This comes as US Attorney General William Barr announced that the Justice Department has seen no evidence of widespread voter fraud. William Denzelo, New York.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this. You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious.
And don't call me Shirley.
There goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. We're your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. Apologize if you hear any noise outside. They are blowing leaves or doing something outside the window. But nonetheless, it is a new day. It's Thursday, December 3rd, and, almost done for this week, which is a good thing. So
yeah, this week's
the sleeping day is coming.
There you go. This week's been going by really fast, and I can't believe it's already trash day, and it's just the way it goes.
Right, absolutely.
In any case, you know what? Let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, have you ever accidentally taken the wrong medication for something?
I'm sure I have. Off the top of my head, can't think of the last time that's happened, but sure, I would imagine it's happened.
Maybe you've taken NyQuil when you meant to take DayQuil and you were drowsy all day, something along those lines.
Oh, sure. We'll go with that. I don't remember, but yeah.
I know when I was a kid, we had that, remember that pink antibiotic that had to go into the fridge? It sort of tasted like bubble gum, and, you had to shake it up every time. And when I was a little kid, I liked it so much, I went into the fridge and drank almost an entire bottle of it, which,
ooh.
Yeah. I don't think I had to go get my stomach pumped or anything, but they definitely called the doctor to make sure everything was okay. Well, all of that goes to say that 20 Spanish children have sprouted hair all over their bodies after they were mistakenly given hair restorer instead of stomach medicine. Pictures show the hair-covered skin of the young children who live in the city of Torrelavega in the northern Spanish region of Cantabria. Local officials admitted that a group of children were mistakenly given minoxidil, a medication for hair growth, instead of omeprazole, used to treat gastric reflux. The mislabeled syrup was delivered to pharmacies in Granada, Cantabria, and Valencia, where chemists mixed it into a formula to treat reflux. The children's furious parents, I'd be furious too, went public, and it was later confirmed that 20 children were affected by Andalusia and the Valencian community, prompting a similar probe on the suspicion the same mistake had been made there. 2 years after the medical blunder, the families of some children have complained that despite treatment, the hair keeps growing, and they are now demanding compensation. According to data from the Ministry of Health, the authorities discovered at the end of July last year that the mistake had been made when a group of families represented by lawyer Javier Diaz Aparicio filed a complaint with authorities. It took authorities 2 months to realize the labeling error and to shut down the laboratory where the mistake was made and recall the medicine. And you got to see this, it's little kids with...
Do they look like Cousin It?
No, they sort of look like werewolves. I mean, they've got hair growing down their backs, down their arms, and they're...
Little wolfsbanes.
Yeah.
They look like, it looks like New Mutants.
It's crazy, just, the fact that can happen, hair on their faces, growing, unibrow, women growing beards. It's...
Take the picture!
It is pretty crazy that something like that can happen. And it makes
sucks, man. These poor kids.
Yeah, and it makes you think, double check your medication before you pick it up. Especially if you get a normal one and they change the pill shape, the pill color, whatever it may be. Maybe just check with your pharmacist to make sure that it is the right one.
Absolutely. Just crazy, like one simple thing. See, it's very, as a doctor, I think, that's why you got to have so much insurance behind you and stuff. Because if you're assigning medications and stuff, and it's the wrong stuff, I mean, you're definitely gonna be held liable for that. It's your fault.
Yeah. It's scary, the things that can happen, but at the same time, I think a little hair is better than potentially dying from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and for some, maybe they can grow some bitchin' facial hair that they couldn't grow before.
We'll get you a little bit of that to fill in the sides there, Tom.
Yeah, just the sides. Yeah, seems to be the only thing that's really struggling is the sides.
There you go. Well, folks, we have a fun show lined up for you today. It is Thursday, the third day. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
The third day, all right? Monday, 1 day. Tuesday, 2 day. Wednesday, when? Huh? What day? Thursday. The third day, okay?
On today's show, as we do on Thursdays, we talk about America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. Yes, it's another edition of Florida Man. We have a segment called Butterfly Effect, and we're not talking about the terrible Ashton Kutcher movie. Our call-in topic today is instant purchase regrets. What did you buy and then instantly regret making that decision? We have a segment called Whatever Happened to the Cast of... Well, you have to stay tuned to find out which cast we're talking about. We close out the day with This Day in History, and up next, Tony is here with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, December 3rd.
Now we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you took the wrong medicine that turned you into a werewolf. We want to know about it. Go ahead and give us a call at 855-PHOENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is the second segment of this show, and that means Tony's here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, December 3rd, and here is your Filippo Fast 5. WWE legend Pat Patterson, the very first Intercontinental Champion, passed away at age 79 yesterday.
Bummer.
John Cena to publish 2 new inspirational books. Everything is Love in the Fast and Furious franchise, according to Tyrese. He no longer has a feud with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Tyrese told Comedy Central, "Stir crazy. Me and The Rock pieced up, by the way. We talked for like 4 hours about 3 weeks ago." All right, good for them.
Cool.
Hugh Keys Byrne, the actor modern fans best remember as Immortan Joe in Mad Max Fury Road, that was really hard to say, passed away at age of 73. And the last one, Oscar nominee Elliot Page, a.k.a. Ellen Page, a.k.a. Kitty Pryde, announced he is now transgender. So that's your Filippo Fast 5. Kind of sums it up.
Quick and easy.
There you go. Quick and simple. All right. So yesterday we talked about In-N-Out Burger and 14-hour waits and all that good stuff. Well, there's a sandwich that's back nationwide, and it shouldn't take you 14 hours to get.
Is it the
Can you
McRib?
guess what that is? It is the McRib.
Boom.
It's kind of like a comet. The saucy sandwich comes along once in a while, and you never really know when or where you'll be able to see it. But you hope it's near you. Thankfully, that's changing in a big way. For the first time since 2012, didn't realize it's been that long, the McRib, a relatively elusive menu item, will be available at McDonald's locations nationwide starting yesterday. It rolled out.
All right.
The rollout comes a year after the sandwich was available at 10,000 locations in 2019. No one has to miss out on it. In fact, McDonald's is offering a way to score it free. As far as McDonald's sandwiches go, the McRib is far from our favorite, but it's a fast food institution. It's made with a boneless pork patty that's doused in sweet barbecue sauce and topped with slivered onions and pickles, all on a hoagie-style bun. The McRib is back, and certainly it won't be around forever.
Forever?
McDonald's hasn't said when the sandwich will leave the menu, but the McRib typically hangs around 2 months, which means you should be able to get it, but you only have a limited time. You don't want to wait for 4 months or another year, do you? So if you're a fan of the McRib, it is now available. Now, I honestly haven't had the McRib. It was sometime in the 2000s I had it. It was okay. It was nothing to do backflips over. But
yeah, I haven't had it in a while. For some reason, it reminds me of elementary school cafeteria lunches. There was, I don't know if it was a version of the McRib that we would get or if it was their version of a hamburger, but every time I taste one, it transports me back to elementary school.
Yeah, I always think of the episode of The Simpsons where at the Krusty Burger, they had something similar to that, and it was just like processed thing. It was, so.
Not so bueno.
No, not so bueno. At least it doesn't sound appealing to me. But that's it for food. So yesterday was yummy. Today is just, it might be yummy for you.
There are ardent McRib fans. I mean, people who swear by it, who love when it comes back. So to you guys, congratulations. For me, I'll probably pass.
It's kind of like I was reading, I think it was last night. There's a TikTok video going around it's getting so many likes and views, and it's how chicken nuggets are made at McDonald's, and it's just this guy opening a cardboard box like at McDonald's. I'm sure he's gonna get in trouble.
Right.
But he cuts open the bag and dumps out the frozen nuggets, puts it in the fryer, and that's how they're made. It's like, well, yeah, it's fast food.
Is that a surprise to anybody?
That's pretty much how everything is made. Everything is boxed. It's not like they go in the back and they freshly chop up chicken and put it in bag. It's not how it
I thought you were going to say it was a rehash of the old pink slime You remember that from Super Size Me, where they show the pink slime coming out and then they're made into chicken nuggets. I thought that's what you were going to talk about, but just showing somebody putting frozen items into a fryer. Why is that going viral?
That's what they're liking on the old TikTok there. So there you go.
The downfall of human
I digress.
civilization.
Moving on from food, let's actually get to some entertainment.
All right.
Wonder Woman 1984, which we know will be on HBO Max in theaters on Christmas Day, has made even bigger news. It seems that, well, it doesn't seem, it's going to be coming out on HBO Max, and it will be the first one on the streaming service to be presented in 4K ultra high def with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos sound. So it'll be at the highest quality and the highest sound version you can get, which is pretty damn impressive considering that's a day one release on a streaming service giant. So
that's pretty cool.
The film will be supported on devices like Apple TV 4K, Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K, Amazon Fire TV Cube, and all Android TV devices. So you can go to HBO Max now, subscribe for $15, cancel anytime. Now might be the month that you want to jump on there and try to take advantage of this. So $15 for 1 month, you get to watch it at home and watch a slew of TV shows and programs. Seems like a good $15 well spent for a month.
Yeah, it is now. It maybe wasn't right at the beginning, but I love HBO Max at this point. I'm sure they're running some sort of 7-day free trial, 30-day free trial, something along those lines. So you could even wait till the week of Christmas and watch Wonder Woman completely for free.
Yeah, you could. And it's well worth it. It is a wonderful service. So something we didn't think, well, we were expecting to say back in May, but it took a while to get to that point.
It did, yep.
Yeah. Well, some sad news here. Disney confirms that DuckTales is wrapping physical production. So after reports that Disney is not renewing DuckTales for a 4th season, it seems like the show will conclude at the end of season 3. Disney has confirmed that the show's physical production is wrapped. While they have not said that they're under the word canceling, it just says that it has not been renewed, which it's a Disney property. It's not like DuckTales is going to go show up on Netflix or somewhere else. So, yeah. So the talented creative team led by Matt Youngberg and Francisco Angois have delivered exceptional storytelling with uniquely reimagined characters for 3 seasons of 75 episodes and more than 15 shorts. Unfortunately, it says DuckTales continues to be available daily on Disney channels and Disney Plus. So fans will get an epic season finale in 2021, which seems like it'll be a series finale. So if you're a fan of the new DuckTales show, it is wrapping up. But on the plus note, the Darkwing Duck revival is not too far behind, which for 75 episodes, it seems about right. Because when we're kids, you think about cartoons and in your mind, they've been on for so long. Well, there's a lot of repeats and a lot of, it took a long time to actually get new ones. But most of the cartoons didn't last more than 1 or 2 seasons anyway.
Exactly.
So it seems like 3 is a pretty good run overall.
Yeah. Either way, I'm certainly
disappointed.
Well, but if you need to satiate that nostalgic cartoon feeling, I was telling Tony over the break, we started watching the new version of Animaniacs. It is brilliant. It is hilarious. It is self-referential, and it is. I hope that one goes on for a long time.
Awesome. I look forward to checking that out. I still have not. Did you come across the 800 or the 900 number from the brain?
No, but I saw the Johnny Depp reference.
Okay, but they still didn't take that one out, huh?
Nope.
Not enough crybabies out there.
No.
Okay.
But the show is zany to the max, that's for sure.
Oh, there. Oh, I like the pun there. Kaylee Cuoco addresses a Harley Quinn feud rumor that she has with Margot Robbie. Kaylee Cuoco, who does the voice animation, is the voice animated Harley Quinn, is squashing rumors of a feud with live-action Harley Quinn star Margot Robbie. The rumors stem from a story in the tabloid The Star. Well, that's credible news.
Right.
Cuoco laughed about the rumors at the time. She goes on into more detail with David Spade in an interview magazine where Harley became kind of a big deal. And then when Birds of Prey came out, there were all these stories that me and Margot were feuding. But I've never met her. I love her. There was an article that came out that said we would not show up together at Comic-Con. We refused to be on the same stage together. Guess what? Neither of us were even at Comic-Con, okay? So Harley Quinn's producer Justin Halpern also debunked rumors of Robbie's interference with the show. Margot was interested in what we were doing, and we had a couple conversations with her to come do the voice. But it was mostly because she was just curious, and they were filming Birds of Prey. So Kuwako stepped in for the voice and has been a fit for us ever since.
Yeah,
so,
she's been knocking it out of the park with that role. It's a hilarious show. I mean, not meant for kids. So even though it is
definitely
an animated,
not. And they both do great Harley Quinn voices.
They do.
As does Tara Strong. She does a fantastic one. She does the kid-friendly versions of it, and there you go. Sorry, I keep getting dings. I should have silenced that.
How dare you?
Anywho's, so we got 50 seconds before we wrap this Bad Mama Jamma. So let's go ahead and just roll on to the birthdays because the last story is really nothing super exciting.
Works for me.
It's my birthday! All right, Mamma Mia! This mean girl is 34, and I'm talking about Amanda Seyfried. Happy birthday.
Big eyes.
Christian's favorite actress, Tiffany Haddish.
Nope.
Come on, she's 37 years young, Chris.
I like her just a little bit more than Leslie Jones, but they both bugged the crap out of me.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I had to put it in. I really didn't have much else for a clever title for her.
It's all right.
But I do have one for this one. Mr. Crowley! Is the iron going off the rails on a crazy train? Hey, but there's no more tears because the Prince of Darkness is still above the grave, barking at the moon at age 72. I'm talking Ozzy Osbourne. This Boogie Night has been in the Lost World for 9 months, and really she has been in so many movies. How many puns can I come up with? Happy 60th birthday to Julianne Moore. And somebody called the Doom Patrol and Journey to the Center of the Earth as we have found George of the Jungle. He's apparently escaped to Encino, man. At least he didn't age like a mummy, but yet he is still an airhead. Age 52, Brendan Fraser. That's your celebrity birthdays for December 3rd.
Folks, that does do it for the entertainment news. When we come back, we explore America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. It's time for Florida Man. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. Now we're all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of us on social media, it's easy enough to do so. I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, and on Twitter and Instagram at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at TonySanFilippo81. Don't forget that dot in there, because otherwise you'll get it completely different.
Otherwise you won't. For some reason, I will not get you.
Yeah.
And odds are, if I don't know you, you have to send a message and say you're a fan of the Fenix Show for me to even accept it. So, Instagram's wide open, but Facebook's the weird one.
Locked down.
Lock it down. Yeah, I keep that one private. Insta's open. So
yeah, if you like pictures of sunsets, go ahead and follow Tony on Instagram, because he takes some really good ones. Yeah. In any case,
I have fun with those ones.
They're great pictures. It is Thursday, and as we like to do on Thursday, we explore America's penis and the weird, wacky, strange things that happen down there. It's time for Florida Man.
Oh, good for you.
It's crazy that it's like with Facebook, hopefully that doesn't scare off. You said the word penis, and it's so offensive on Facebook. So
yeah, we were talking about SEX toys yesterday, which apparently, Facebook has issues with. So
yeah, our show got flagged to be a dirty, dirty show.
I know.
So woo!
For some reason, they thought we were advertising them. Oh well.
Yeah, don't want to call out anybody because we don't want to have technical issues like yesterday. We start calling out the internet. Things got weird. Don't want to do that to the almighty face. So,
right.
With that being said, it's Florida Man time. We're going to travel around the great state of Florida and find some weirdos and tell you some stories like this one. We're down in Tampa, and Florida man who strapped a light pole to the roof of his car on the highway has been arrested in charges of grand theft. Doug Allen Hatley was pulled over on a Tampa roadway on Monday after another driver reported a maroon Toyota Camry was hauling a metal pole nearly double the length of the car on its roof, the Florida Highway Patrol said. Hatley said that he found the pole on the ground by the side of the highway and wanted to sell the metal for scraps, according to troopers. Wow, he looks wonderful. The 71-year-old Lakeland man said he didn't realize that it was illegal to remove a broken utility and light poles from the side of the road. He was arrested and charged with grand theft. He was being held on a $2,000 bond. A passenger in the car was not charged. Jail records did not list attorneys who could comment on the case. Hartley has a long rap sheet, having been arrested 48 times in Florida since 1971 on charges such as grand theft, burglary, probation violation. The paper reported, citing criminal history records. Jeez. Yeah, I don't think he was aware that. You know he's stealing.
I had no idea. I sort of picture, when people go to Home Depot with a compact car and they can't fit, the long boards and, they stick it out the side window. So you have basically like a jousting post. That's sort of what I picture with this guy.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I'll have to share the picture for that because it's quite impressive that they strapped this thing down to a car. But my thought is, how would you not know that you'd stick out like a sore thumb? Like, no one's going to look at that and be like, huh, that car's got a light pole on its car.
It is Florida, to be fair, so.
Yeah, this is true. Still staying, obviously, in Florida. We're going to D-Land, Florida. A shoplifting Florida man attempted to flee a D-Land store, stripping naked as multiple steaks fell out of his pants. Spoiler alert, the store is Costco. It never says it, but it's Costco because the steaks they recovered clearly have Kirkland signature stickers on them. Anyways, the manager of the store in D-Land confronted the 28-year-old Stephen Short when he and store patrons saw him stuffing meat into his pants. The manager attempted to restrain the Florida man, but he wiggled free, ran out of the store, and began taking off his clothes, leaving a trail of steaks on the floor. Police spotted Short running out of the store naked. When he refused to stop, officers tased him. According to police, he stole 4 packs of ribeye steaks valued at $41. He was charged with resisting an officer without violence and first-degree petty theft.
Has the planet gone mad?
He must have only had like 2 packages of steaks in there because that could add up to about $40.
Right, but that story had everything.
And
somebody stuffing steaks down their pants, getting naked, getting tased. I mean, that's quintessential Florida, man.
It was great. And I can say I've dealt with something similar to that at a Costco. That's for another time, but I watched him get tased. So I pictured that whole scenario going on in Florida. So just with palm trees versus desolate open field. We're going to this one. A Florida man charged with involving an 8-year-old boy in crime spree. I don't want him to be soft. Oh, boy. So Ernest McKnight, at 36, was asked by a detective why he had the child with him. He replied, I was trying to toughen him up. I don't want him to be soft. He said the boy was with McKnight in Winter Haven last week when deputies say McKnight burglarized 3 unoccupied dwellings. They stole a car, made off with a package stolen from a porch, and it all took place in the city of Lake Wales. Taking a child out with you while you're committing felonies is not the proper way to create a positive influence. Duh. I'm quite confident that there is not a lot of child psychologists out there that would agree with this guy's idea of proper activity for a child. An arrest affidavit said McKnight was arrested Thursday after leading deputies in a high-speed chase, and they spotted him in the stolen vehicle, a red Hyundai taken from a road surveyor. The affidavit quotes deputies as saying they clocked McKnight going 120 miles per hour, and they only caught up with him. They discovered he was with a child. So
stupid is stupid.
I didn't want him
sir.
to be soft. That is perfect. That soundbite is perfect. Poor kid. Can you imagine? Like, Dad took me out today. We didn't have chicken McNuggets or a McRib, but what we did have was a speed chase. Cops followed us around, and we stopped by this package, and he said it's okay to touch the Amazon package.
Maybe in Florida it was take your child to work day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
maybe that's a good one.
Father of the year right there.
Definitely. Well, have you ever thought about going to Disney and just high on drugs and doing some silly stuff?
No, not to lie, that app would actually kind of be fun.
All right, well,
it's a
somewhat
controlled environment.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't turn out so fun for this Florida man, as James Arvid, a 19-year-old from Pompano Beach, is facing a felony charge of battery on an attack in Dinoland USA section of Animal Kingdom Park, where he tackled the uniformed 41-year-old worker and put him in a headlock. What? Ruh-roh. The guard managed to call for help using his radio, but guests at the Walt Disney World Resort park in Bay Lake, New Orlando, saw Arvid atop him and subdued the South Florida man until authorities arrived. It appeared James was in a state of delirium and unexpected strength. He was bloody and sweating profusely while ignoring commands and repeatedly kicking his legs. Arvid, who was restrained on a stretcher, later told the nurse in the hospital in celebration he had taken drugs prior to the attack. I took LSD and I tried to kill someone, Arvid said. A doctor at the hospital told deputies Arvid appeared to show signs of drug and alcohol use as well as heat stroke, potentially leading to increased aggression. The guard, meanwhile, had 2 cuts on his elbow but wasn't seriously hurt. No other injuries were reported. We do not tolerate violence on any kind of our property and appreciate those, including the Orange County Sheriff's deputies who quickly came to the aid of the cast member. Arvid pleaded not guilty, declined to comment on this thing. And in other news, Disney laid off the guard. Okay.
Good for you.
Poor guy. You just walk around, it's another day at Disney World, some psycho just attacks you.
Right. If you are going to do it on the fun drugs, not bath salts or LSD or something that'll make you go aggro.
I tried to kill someone. I put him in a headlock. I snuck up behind him and I was like, "Top out, bitch!" Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense. All right. Still in the world of Florida, homeless Florida man arrested for shooting flare gun at a person's head. Well, that was smart.
As you do.
Marathon, Florida. Homeless Florida man is behind bars for allegedly shooting another man in the head with a flare gun, officials said. 45-year-old victim was found bleeding in the head in a Kmart parking lot at 3:50 a.m. All right, who goes to Kmart at 3:50 a.m.?
Florida man.
Where is there a Kmart anymore? The victim was taken to Fisherman's Hospital in Marathon with non-life-threatening injuries. A witness said he saw the suspect shoot the victim twice with a flare gun in the Brass Monkey Bar parking lot. That funky monkey. The witness said that the victim and the suspect were fighting. Deputies took a flare gun, a bloody hat, and 5 cans of alcoholic beverages to evidence. The suspect, Joseph Edward Dooley, 46, was arrested, booked into jail, and he will no longer be listening to the Beastie Boys. That's Florida Man for this week.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
Yes, tune in next week. I have a whole sleuth more of extra stories. I'll roll into that batch.
Never disappoints. Folks, that did it for Florida Man. When we come back, we have a segment called Butterfly Effect. We're not talking Ashton Kutcher 2000s movie. We're talking the actual effect. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball.
When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we made it to the fourth and final segment of the first hour of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Thursday, December 3rd, but don't fret, there is still plenty of show ahead. We've got our whole second hour ahead of us, and we're having fun on this Thursday, the third day. But if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head on over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always get the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends because sharing is caring. Now, in this segment, early on in the show, we explored the Mandela effect, basically remembering something differently from the way it actually happened. Well, today we're going to explore the butterfly effect. Now, the butterfly effect, for those of you who don't know, is basically the theory that if a butterfly flaps its wings here, it'll set off a series of events that will lead to a hurricane halfway across the world. Obviously, it's not quite to that same degree, but there are moments that happen in our lives that are some sort of butterfly effect, something you either do or you don't do that causes something else to happen. Now, Tony, off the top of your head, can you think of anything in your life where either you failed to do something or you did something that set off a chain of reactions that led to an unexpected outcome?
Yeah, actually, I think anybody, if everybody looks at their own lives, I mean, I think everyone could come up with something like that. Had I not hired all my friends at the video store back at Hollywood Video, and then them jacking stuff out the back, and then having the ultimatum to leave, right? And then you couldn't stay at that video store no more, and then ending up at that crappy teleperformance meeting my then future ex-wife. I mean, it wouldn't have led me to Colorado. None of that would have happened. So because of those crazy events at the video store, like at the time I was like, man, this is why you don't hire friends, because they don't listen to you. They do what they want to do. And, that group of dudes, they stole some stuff, and it was on my watch, and unfortunately it sucked for the time, but man, it led me to where I'm at today. It led me just pushing. So had never gone to effect, I mean, who knows, but that was like, that led me to that teleperformance place, and here we are.
Yeah. And most people's lives are just a series of decisions that could go one way or the other. And, at any point, if you had made a different decision, your life would be completely different. So we're going to explore some butterfly effect stories, for instance, from user Lily7. She said, before I was born, my dad was driving on the highway after leaving McDonald's. Hey, maybe he was getting a McRib. He looked behind him, and there was a car that seemed to be following him really close and driving erratically. He didn't really think much of it, but after checking his food, he realized that McDonald's had forgotten the sauce for the McNuggets, so he got off the next exit to go back to get his sauce. Later that day, he was watching the news and saw that there was a fatal accident on the same highway due to somebody being ran off the road by that same car that was following behind him. If he hadn't decided to go back to McDonald's to get his sauce, I probably wouldn't be alive today. That's scary to think about, yeah. You know,
and that's just that, like you said, that's just by dumb luck. That's just like, is the sauce worth it? Well, that day it was totally worth it to go get the sauce, and you just don't know. I mean, like you said, you go one way or the other.
Yep. It
plays out.
Along those same lines in my life personally, that reminds me of my grandfather's story. So my grandfather was in World War II. He was stationed on the USS Midway. And no, he was on the Enterprise, the USS Enterprise, not the Star Trek one. But in any case,
I was like, wait, was he Luke Picard?
His position in the military was he was a flight navigator for a certain squadron of fighter planes. And one day he was just up on the top balcony of the ship. A drunk sailor came and pushed him off the ledge, and he fell all the way down to the bottom deck of the ship where he shattered his hip. He was obviously sent home, got a Purple Heart, all of that stuff. But later on, his entire squadron was shot down. And so if he hadn't been pushed off and shattered his hip, I wouldn't be here today. Or at least I'd look a lot different.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So we're talking butterfly effect. Let's go with Kelsey J4D5E 1133E. Boy, that is an original handle. She said, 4 years ago, my boyfriend went with me to a baseball game for my brother's birthday. We were on the light rail headed back to our car when he collapsed after his heart stopped. There was a nurse on board about 10 feet away. Long story short, she saved his life with CPR. We ran into her again a year later at another baseball game where she told us that she was going to get on the light rail before the one we were on, but something told her to sit down, drink some water, and wait for the next one. If she didn't follow that gut instinct, she wouldn't have been on our light rail to save my boyfriend, who's now my husband's, life. You know, those are great stories where, people just have a feeling that, maybe they should do something or maybe they shouldn't do something, and it turns out working out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's just nuts how some things just fall into place and how you're like, because you just never know.
Yeah.
It's always fascinating to me, the whole butterfly effect thing.
Yep.
It kind of goes back, like when people ask you if you could go back and change anything, would you? Well, yeah, on some aspects that would be a easy answer. Like, yeah, I would definitely change that. But you always, like for me, when I asked, like, if you could go back, would you spend more time with your mom? Would you do these? And of course. But had I done something different, then that changes the whole outcome of everything else. It's just, you just learn from these things. But, it is crazy to think like that.
Yeah. And ultimately,
literally one change could change it all. So.
Yeah. And hindsight's 20/20. So, you can't change the past. All you can do is learn from it and move forward. And obviously it shapes who we are. This next butterfly effect, while it's tame, I think you'll enjoy, Tone. From user Amber Domsky says, I'm married today because I decided to post on Facebook that I really wanted to see that new Avengers movie that everyone was so hyped about. A guy I knew through my brother said that he also wanted to go but had no one to go with, so we decided to go together. We're now going on 8 years together, 5 of those years married, and we have a 3-year-old that we named Wade, after Wade Wilson. We've seen every Marvel movie together to date. Thanks for the happily ever after MCU. And that's awesome. We're big, obviously, MCU comic book nerdy guys, and it's nice that could bring two people together to find true love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe that's what you should do, Tony, is post on Facebook that you want to go see Black Widow or Wonder Woman with somebody and see who pops up.
I'd be afraid to see who pops up. So.
Believe
me, I've done that before. It's called catfishing.
Oh, yeah.
Showed up, and it's definitely not the person in the picture.
It's funny. We were just watching I Love You, Man, and that same thing happened when he was looking for a friend, and it turned out to be the 93-year-old guy. And hey, it happens to the best of us. But let's move on with the butterfly effect. This one from user Milk Tea Poppy says, I was walking with
Milk Tea Poppy.
I was walking with my friend to a concert after eating at a restaurant before the show. It was our turn to walk, and the light was red. Being excited, I literally jumped in the street the moment the walk sign came on. I looked back at my friend to see that she had dropped her bag about 2 steps back from me. I jokingly lectured her about how she needed to be more careful with her things while I walked backwards to help her pick everything up. Just as I took a step towards her, a car just drove at full speed past me, right where I was standing seconds beforehand, running the light. I'm fully convinced that had I not gone back to help her, I would have been in the emergency room instead of that concert. I've had something similar to that happen in elementary school. We used to walk to school as kids. My younger brother, Alex, not exactly the most observant person in the world, walked out into a crosswalk on a major highway, and I grabbed him, pulled him back just before he ended up he didn't get hit by a car, but he would have otherwise. And yeah, we wouldn't have my brother around today if that wasn't the case.
So crazy, man.
Yeah. And then finally closing out the butterfly effect. This is from user Create It Yourself, says, after I graduated high school, I had soft plans to hang out with my best friend, but hadn't heard if he'd gotten off work early. While I waited for him, another friend called and invited me to his graduation party. It was mainly his relatives and his girlfriend. I was bored, so I finally said I'd stop by. Right as I hung up, the phone rang, and my best friend said he had to work overtime, so I told him I was hitting up the party, and if it sucked, I'd meet him afterwards. Turns out, my other friend's girlfriend had brought along her cousin, who was in town visiting for 2 weeks from halfway across the country. We hit it off, so basically, if my best friend had gotten off of work on time, I'd never have met the wife or had my grandkids or kids. A lot of these have to do with relationships, but it is those little decisions that sort of lead you to the people that are in your lives. So, we got to thank the butterfly effect for that. We also have to thank our sponsors, thank the news, because we are headed into our long break. When we come back, it is our call-in topic of instant purchase regrets.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the news, take a potty break. We'll see you guys in about 7 minutes.
You said potty.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to fenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai has been detained until a court hearing next year after being charged with fraud. The pro-democracy supporter was arrested on Wednesday on a charge related to claims of illegal use of his company premises. It's raising fears among democracy campaigners in Hong Kong of a new phase of crackdowns. The UK government's beginning a campaign to convince the British public of the safety of a Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, which has been approved for use from next week. Britain's MHRA regulator approved the Pfizer-BioNTech jab on Wednesday, insisting no corners had been cut and a rigorous safety check had been carried out. Vulnerable people and healthcare workers will start being vaccinated as early as Monday. Education Secretary Gavin Williamson says the jab passes the so-called mum test for him, saying he'd be keen for his own mother to take it.
Absolutely, and I'd certainly be encouraging everyone else to be having it, and I certainly hope that my loved ones will be also getting the vaccine. I definitely passed my mum's test.
The Belgian Prime Minister says the country will start administering COVID-19 vaccines on January the 5th if the medicines regulator signs off on the jabs. Tony Waterman has more from Brussels.
January 5th is the next big day on the coronavirus calendar. That's when Prime Minister Alexander De Croo expects the first Belgians to receive a COVID-19 jab. The EU's drug regulator says it will make a decision on the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine by the 29th of December. Exact details on how the vaccine strategy will be carried out and which groups will be first in line are still waiting approval. But even when the program starts, De Croo has warned that it will take time to inoculate all 11.5 million residents, which means safety measures will need to remain in place for a while yet. Governments across Europe are keen to show voters they have a vaccine plan in place and have a date on when inoculations will start after the UK.
The former French President Valéry Giscard d'Estaing has died at the age of 94. He served as president from 1974 till 1981. At 48, he was the country's youngest leader until the current president, Emmanuel Macron, was elected. From FSN's Paris bureau, Ross Cullen reports.
The former president died from complications related to coronavirus at his estate in central France. He was lauded and criticised for relaxing rules on divorce and abortion, and he also expanded disabled rights and lowered the voting age and the retirement age. There were controversies he got caught up in, such as a diamond scandal with the self-styled Emperor of Central Africa, and he was accused of groping a German reporter in 2018, which he denied. Giscard d'Estaing was a committed European, involved in the creation of the European Council and behind the writing of an EU constitution, which was ultimately thrown out by French voters in 2005.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby
brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks. It's the second hour of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. You seem a little more sprightly now here into the second hour as opposed to the first hour where I think you held in a yawn and your eyes rolled back into the back of your head at some point.
Yeah, I was literally channeling my inner Undertaker, which, there we go. Yeah, no, these overnights are getting brutal, man. They're hard. So, well, I'm not my chipper self. I mean, because literally I get home at around 1:30 a.m. It takes a little bit to unwind, so probably get to bed about 2:30 and then up for the radio show. So I'm not exactly as energetic as I should. It kind of comes throughout the day, and then I have all kinds of energy, but it's just not there. But hopefully for hour 2, it'll be there.
Well, sometimes a delirious Tony is a silly Tony, so...
hey, it's not a bad thing sometimes.
No, not at all. But in any case, this is the interactive portion of the show. This is where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners, the watchers. That's why we have our call-in topic. We pose the topic the day before for you to call in at your convenience. Leave a message. Let us know what you think, whatever it may be. And, of course, the way to do that is on the Fenix Line. That number, 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. Of course, you can always comment live on our Facebook Live video over at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R. And, of course, we always encourage you to do so because we love reading your comments. We love the interaction. And, of course, if you do call in, you are entered into a chance to win our prize contest, as we've been calling it. Basically, we pull a name, and you win some Fenix fan gear. So a Fenix Media hat, T-shirt, some other goodies as well.
Yeah, and you can check out the Fenix fan gear at our Facebook page. I think you posted that up about 4 days ago now.
It was Friday.
This week's going by pretty quick, so
yeah.
It was like within the week.
It was Black Friday that we posted it. So some cool stuff there.
It's almost been 7 days.
Yep. I'm waiting for my brand new Fenix Media hat to arrive. So, some cool stuff. But I digress.
It's still good. You're still a shameless plug-in right here, but you're at least sporting your Rough Riders hat for your Rough Riders organization.
Yeah, it gives new meaning to wearing multiple hats.
There you go.
The multiple things I do.
I like it.
In any case, the topic for today is instant purchase regrets. What have you purchased and then instantly decided, ooh, that probably was not a good idea? Now, Tony, this is one that you brought to my attention because, as far as I understand, it happened to you recently, and you've been good about holding off and leaving it for this segment, so I have no idea what you're about to say.
Yeah, so the other day, this is also a bad move when you're a little tired. So obviously there was we had Cyber Monday, Black Friday, yada, yada. Well, then you get into the Christmas spirits, and I just happened to be at the gym working out and watching a YouTube concert stream of Volbeat, and it had an ad that popped up. Well, the ad was for this really cool item. I'm not going to say what it is just because the person that I'm getting it for might listen to the show. So I'll tell you what it is off air. But
Okay.
this particular item, they had this smoking deal. And it's like, wow, that thing looks really cool. Like, this person would really love it. It would be really useful for them. And it had this Cyber Monday deal. And it was like, and it was something I would even want. So I'm like, well, it was buy one, get one. You know, it was already half off, but if you bought two, you got an additional like $10 off or something.
Okay.
So it ended up being for two of these items, $50. And what had happened was I got it, and you know, I bought this while I was working out, so I totally forgot about the Volbeat thing, and I'm like sitting here buying this thing, put my information in, checked it, verified site, yada yada. So I get it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I should have looked at Amazon first. I find it on the same exact thing, same brand, same everything. Found it on Amazon. So I paid about $25 plus $6 shipping. So you add 3 to 3 for each item. So it totaled to be $50. Well, this thing was only like $15 with free shipping on Amazon. I was like, that's a better deal. That saves me $20. So then, going to cancel, you can't get a hold of anybody.
Nope.
You call the number doesn't exist. I had to go onto a chat room thing to cancel, and the thing was, and at this point I'm just pissed that I bought it. Like, why didn't I look at Amazon first? I always scout around first before buying something, but in the moment I was like, oh, I gotta act now. It's a Black Friday deal. And when I got the item, they said, okay, yeah, well, I had to go into a chat room and talk to one of their specialists, and they're like, yeah, we'll refund you. We'll cancel the order. Sorry. I've not been refunded at all. I got charged,
Really?
but I have not seen a refund yet. And it's been 4 days, so I'm hoping that I get a refund. I did end up buying it on Amazon because I feel safer buying stuff on Amazon. I don't know what I was thinking. I stepped out of my norm, did it, and instantly was like, oh, that's when I texted you like, hey, radio's discussion.
Was this website by any chance wish.com?
It was not.
Okay.
No.
You know,
during the break, I will text you and you'll know what it is. And the reason why I'm not sharing what the product is again, it's a Christmas gift and it's for a person that does listen to the show, and I just don't want to spoil that.
That's fair enough. Yeah, you know, Facebook, if you're scrolling through, you know, you get these ads that pop up for things that you're like, oh, that's awesome, and you click into it, and it's a killer deal. But I'm always a little apprehensive about purchasing it through these sites because, you know, you hear like Wish.com, they don't show up for a year or at all.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man. It's nerve-wracking. You know, you take those chances, and you know, any website could say fully guaranteed, fully safe, and who knows, you know?
Not.
But I can tell you, the minute I bought the damn thing, now all of a sudden their Facebook page shows up in my streams, and I didn't like their Facebook page, so.
Nope, it's because Facebook is always listening. So don't say anything bad. Zuckerberg's got his ear to the
That's
wall.
why I didn't go ham on him earlier. I just kind of spoke a little heat at him, but not too bad.
Exactly. Well, folks, that's what we're looking for. We want you to chime in now on our Facebook live video at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. What did you purchase that you instantly regretted? So when we come back, it is all about you guys. We want to hear from you, and hang tight for just a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Welcome Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Here we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. We are smack dab in the middle of our interactive portion of the show where we want to hear about you guys on the topic of the day, which is instant purchase not requests, regrets. So what's an
regrets? No
regrets. What's an item you purchased and then instantly regretted?
Disappointed!
And for me, while I can't think of any one in particular, this topic did get me thinking about when the new Xbox was announced and they started putting up pre-orders. And so the new Xbox is called the Xbox Series X. And people went online in droves and ordered what they thought was a killer deal on Xbox One X consoles, which, newsflash, is the previous generation. So they thought they were getting them for, $299, getting a killer deal on the brand new system, which goes for about $600. Well, Microsoft probably should have done a better job naming it because it is the Xbox Series X, not the Xbox One X. And I would imagine as soon as that showed up to their doorsteps, they were quite disappointed.
Oh, so pissed. And that's the thing. Sometimes your brain, like whether you're looking on eBay, Amazon, when you type in what you're looking for, it'll bring up stuff, but you got to really read. I did something dumb like that too. I'm not going to steal stories. I'll say that if we have time, I'll let everybody else jump in before I tell another one if we need to fill time.
Exactly.
Maybe think of something else I've done lately. Ugh.
So we do want to hear from you guys. Feel free to chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Kristian Fenix Radio. We've got 2 different sites, one for the network, one for the show. You know how it goes. Click into the live video, comment there. Let us know which purchases you ultimately ended up regretting instantly. Tony, anybody chime in on your end?
Yeah, so Mike said the Sony soundbar that he bought at Target a few weeks ago, it was a piece of junk. He bought it for $300. It instantly sucked. It went on sale on Black Friday for $100. Glad we returned it. So he was going back and forth between buying a Sony soundbar and a Samsung one at Costco, and I told him you should go with the Samsung one. Hopefully he likes it. He'll chime in a second, I'm sure, if he does or not. But he was saying, but he had bought a new Sony television for his new house, and he wanted to keep the brands, linked together, as most people do. If you have a Samsung TV, you probably want a Samsung soundbar. Yeah, it seems to work better. So he went with the Sony soundbar. He was on the fence, and I said, well, just buy both, and if whatever one doesn't work out, just return it, especially at Costco. It's a big deal. Well, he bought that one, and it turns out it was a piece of junk. But I'm glad you were able to return it, though, buddy, because if you would have got stuck with that, that would have been, as the soundbite says,
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I've got it
you
on.
Didn't have it ready, so I
Disappointed!
did say it.
There you go.
There you go. And then Lacey had bought something for their dog Minnie, and it was this squeaky toy. Either it was too squeaky or it was just a piece of junk for the dog. I don't know. Just as a squeaky toy for Minnie, which is their dog. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we try to get these dog toys. We've got 2 pitties that they say it's a super chewer item or whatever it is. Whatever the toy is, they destroy it in 5 minutes. There is no toy I think that exists out there for dogs that they cannot destroy.
Yeah,
even if they're marketed differently.
Yeah, if it's marked like that, it's just crazy, because sometimes you hope these things are good. Now, mine usually ends up being like, I shouldn't have bought those things. So have you ever bought something that you were just disappointed with, like when you got it and you're like, man, why'd I get that?
I'm sure I have. I can't think of anything in particular. Now, going back to what you were saying about doing a little research before you actually pulled the trigger on something, I bought something for my son Corbin for Christmas. Obviously, if he's tuning in, I can't say what it is. But it was one of those things where it popped up on this site where it's like killer deal, 50% off. And go in there and I start putting it in the cart. And then they wanted another, $25 for shipping. And before I clicked that buy now button, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the actual manufacturer's website, was able to go on there, buy it for the same price, and they had free shipping. So, do a little research before you pull the trigger.
Definitely. Don't just impulse buy. Impulse buy is bad. And if, I did it a couple weeks ago too, man, just, I wanted Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Switch. I could have just went to Walmart and got it for $50, but I was like, I'm sure it's old enough now. It's got to be at least in the $20 range because I'm a cheapo. Found it for $23 I got it for $23 on eBay. Buy it now. So I jumped on it, right? Fine print. I bought the case.
Oh no!
Not the game. I just bought the. Luckily, the eBay buyer was good, and he didn't. He canceled the order, so I didn't get charged.
Oh, that's
for it.
good.
But if I would have read the fine print, because they show it, and you're thinking, "Oh God, I'm getting this Switch game for $23 versus $50. Like it's half off. It's the game I wanted." And when I read, it's like at the bottom in real, so it describes the Donkey Kong game, and at the bottom, it's in parentheses. It says case only, game not included. It's like, why would I pay $23 for an effing case?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay that.
Especially if you're buying off of eBay, read the entire description because
Absolutely. And it's funny because I don't buy much off eBay at all anymore. Sometimes I'll dabble in it, but it's because of weird things like that I'm just like, this is why I don't use it.
Yeah. I used to sell quite a few things on eBay, and it just goes to show you got to be as explicit as possible in your description to minimize the chance of returns. So folks, we are talking about instant purchase regrets. What did you buy that you instantly regretted? Still time to chime in, but I've got a list here of purchases that buyers almost always regret. For instance, DVDs. Pretty much any sort of movie platform, that in a few years the format is going to change. We had VHS for the longest time, then it went to DVDs, and people were like, oh man, DVDs are awesome. Well, then Blu-ray, now it's 4K. After that, it's not even going to be physical media anymore. It's all digital. And so I've got a collection of DVDs that are just, collecting dust at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy how that goes. If you go back 20 years ago, it's just nuts to think about, like the big CD cases in the car, it's all alphabetized.
Yep.
Or you had your CD books.
Right.
If you were, for the ones that you're like, whatever, if they scratch, it scratches. Right. And then VHS, I can remember almost moving in with you back after high school, and I had those boxes of VHS movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My movie collection is so cool.
And I've gotten rid of most of everything except for the things that were never re-released on Blu-ray or, even digital at this point. But it is crazy to think that through like Spotify or Apple Music that I have access to pretty much any album in history at this point without having to physically buy a CD and store it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. The world we live in, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just weird. But
speaking of purchase regrets, this one actually is one that I know you don't regret, Tony, but extended warranties. Just make sure you understand what the warranty covers before you buy it. Probably the biggest example is cars. In Tony's case, his warranty covers most everything except for normal wear and tear items, which you found out an alternator was not included in that, but luckily the dealership pretty much took care of that for you.
Yeah, I stand by the warranties now. I mean, you never predicted like you blew an engine at 65,000 miles, and thank God that warranty was in because it was going to be I think if you round it up after tax and everything, it was going to be close to $8,000 to fix the engine, and with labor and stuff, it cost me $100 out of pocket.
Not bad at all. And then finally, with purchase regrets, I think the biggest one that I know you fell victim to was timeshares. Timeshares,
Oh, daddy, stay away from those.
Those are, they suck you into these things. They give you all sorts of free stuff to get you into the meetings and then pressure you to buy. If you really want a timeshare, you can buy them for $1 for people who are just trying to get rid of them because there's the maintenance fees and blackout dates and all kinds of crazy things that most people don't want to deal with and have no idea come along with buying a timeshare.
Yeah, the ex-wife and I, we bought one, and you know how many times we used it? Because every time we wanted to book a trip, it was blacked out. The only place you could go was, I think, Scumbag Motel somewhere in Las Vegas, and it was like 5 miles off the strip. It was like, we really paid for this crap? So yeah. Those ones you gotta be very careful. You have to be a part of a Disney Vacation Club or something like that. Good.
Make sure it's reputable,
especially if you go a lot. Yeah, but just going to Tahiti Village. Not so much.
Well, folks, that does it for this portion of the interactive topic. Now, tomorrow's topic is self-inflicted. How have you seriously hurt yourself in a ridiculous or funny way? And, I know that Tony has some stories there as well.
Sure.
But
always do.
Folks, when we come back, it is whatever happened to the cast of... Well, you're gonna have to wait and see. Folks, we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. Now, if you haven't heard of the Fenix Line, either you're living under a rock or this is your first time listening or watching to us. We won't hold that against you. But the Fenix Line is a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our topics of the day. For instance, our call-in topic tomorrow is self-inflicted. How have you ridiculously or hilariously caused yourself serious injury? Well, we want to know. So call in onto the Fenix Line at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO. Or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. It's a voicemail line. You know how it works. You leave a message after the beep. You don't even have to speak with a live person. We will compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, a segment that we've been doing here recently, one that I've really enjoyed, is Whatever Happened to the Cast of... And then we pick a movie or a TV show, whatever it is. And this really stems from us watching TV, obviously watching some older movies that we grew up with. And the question inevitably comes up, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so? So in this case, we are exploring the holiday seasons, probably a staple in our home. And we are exploring whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone.
Ooh. That soundbite's scary. So it's just like a streaky windshield or something.
Yeah, if you don't know what it's from, it sounds like just a sound. But It's funny because she did it twice, obviously, once in Home Alone 1, once in Home Alone 2, and I find that the Home Alone 2 one is a little more panicked. That's the one I used. So, speaking of, Macaulay Culkin, obviously, he was a huge hit in that movie. He was Kevin McAllister. Well, back then, he was the 10-year-old who played Kevin McAllister in Home Alone and Home Alone 2, went on to star in other hits like My Girl and Richie Rich. Well, now, obviously, he's been out of the limelight, to say the least. Currently, Macaulay is a publisher and CEO of a satirical pop culture website and podcast called Bunny Ears. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Bunny Ears!
He's a frequent guest on Red Letter Media, a film and TV-themed YouTube channel. He's also been dating Brenda Song since 2017 and has appeared alongside her in projects like Changeland and Dollface. Earlier this year, it was also announced that he'd be part of American Horror Story's Season 10 cast, which will probably be the biggest thing he's done since, well, Richie Rich, probably.
Probably. Yeah, I was going to say, what else was the... I was going to say he was in Scott Pilgrim, but that's his brother that's in it. And he used to date Mila Kunis, too.
He did, yeah. And he's funny. If you follow him on social media, he has no qualms about poking fun at himself. So it's nice when these former child stars realize that, you know what, they're not going to relive those glory days, but they're going to have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely. What did he have for when the pandemic started? There was when they started doing different types of masks and stuff. He did the one where it's the younger Home Alone version of him.
That's right.
It was really weird looking, but it was funny.
Moving on with whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone. Well, of course, we have Kevin's mother, Kate, who gave us this soundbite. Well, it was played by Catherine O'Hara. Back then, she started her career in the 70s on Second City Television as a performer, then later as writer on the show and received an Emmy for her work. She also appeared in a bunch of iconic movies like Beetlejuice, After Hours, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, and Temple Grandin, and TV shows like 6 Feet Under and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Well, now she went on to appear in even more great movies and TV shows, but she's most widely known for her portrayal of Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. This year, she even won an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for that role. And she's probably the biggest star, well, second biggest star to come out of that whole franchise.
Yeah, I would definitely say, I mean, I always remember her, you know, famously, before she was Kevin's mom, I always remember her from Olivia Dietz's mom in Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice,
the first big place I remember her from.
Yep. Moving on with whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone. What about John Hurd as Kevin's dad, Peter McAllister? Well, back then, his professional acting career started in the 70s. After performing in various stage plays, he went on to act in movies like Heartbeat, Cutter's Way, Big, After Hours, Beaches, The Package, and Deceived. Well, later on, he continued acting and appeared in Sharknado. I didn't realize he was in that. As well as TV series like The Sopranos, Prison Break, and The Client. Sadly, John died of a heart attack in 2017. I didn't realize he had passed away. I thought he was still around. But my question was always, what did Peter McAllister actually do for a living? Was he a high-powered lawyer? I mean, between
that house, though, man, to have that many people, that house was beautiful.
Oh, the
so
house,
big.
Being able to take that family to Paris and.
Oh yeah, well, and it was the whole family. So yeah, he had to do something crazy. Yeah. And you definitely, it's on Netflix. I know you've seen it. The Movies That Made Us. You should watch the Home Alone one if you guys are watching this. That it's just cool to see how that's made, especially how obviously they didn't film a lot of that stuff inside that house. The house was more of a backdrop, but still pretty cool to see how they did all that.
Yeah, and while you're there, watch the Die Hard one as well. That one's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Both great.
Well, let's move on with whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone. We have one half of the Sticky or Wet Bandits, depending on which movie you're watching. Joe Pesci as Harry. Well, Joe had his claim to fame after appearing in Goodfellas, Once Upon a Time in America, and Raging Bull. He played Harry Lime, one of the very memorable burglars in Home Alone. And we just recently started watching the Lethal Weapon series where he plays Leo Getz. Hilarious. Well, now he's appeared.
He was great in that, yeah.
Yeah, he's appeared in a bunch of.
Okay.
They F you with the phones. love it.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh man, if they do Lethal Weapon 5, they definitely got to bring him back.
Oh, I'm sure
and
they
bitch
will.
about today's modern technologies.
Well, as you know, he's appeared in a bunch of other hit movies and worked alongside Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese. He most recently came out of retirement for Scorsese's The Irishman, a role for which he received an Oscar, Golden Globe, and Screen Actors Guild nomination. You know, I'd say he's probably the biggest star to come out of the Home Alone movie franchise.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. The other half of the Wet/Sticky Bandits, Daniel Stern as Marv. He appeared in many movies, including Stardust Memories, Hannah and Her Sisters, and, of course, City Slickers. Then he went on to play Marv in Home Alone. Well, now he's continued to act as well as direct and write. He wrote and starred in the CBS show Danny and directed several episodes of The Wonder Years. Most recently, he starred in Netflix's Game Over Man. I vaguely remember that movie. I don't remember him in that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't remember him. You know, aside from City Slickers, I couldn't tell you a whole lot of Daniel Stern movies. That's all I associate him with is Home Alone and City Slickers.
What was the other one that he did with Damon Wayans, like Celtic Thunder, Celtic Pride?
Oh, yeah, Celtic Pride, where they kidnap one of the Boston Celtic players.
Yeah.
So I guess it'd be Celtic Pride, right?
Yeah.
Celtic.
Oh, yeah. If you really think about it. All right.
If you really think about it, I guess it would be Celtic Pride. But yeah, I can't recall I've ever seen that movie, but I remember the box art, though.
It was funny for the time. Let's move on with whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone. How about Devin Rattray as Buzz McAllister, Kevin's older brother? A couple decades and a couple 100 pounds later, the 13-year-old Devin played Kevin's older brother, Buzz McAllister. He's gained a few pounds in recent years.
Buzz, your girlfriend.
He continued to act, and he's appeared in shows and movies like Mosaic, Chicago Med, Russian Doll, Hustlers, Masterminds, Rough Night, and Girls. He also had a recurring role on Amazon's The Tick, where he played Tinfoil Kevin. I don't remember him from that, but all right. And then finally, with whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone, you have an actor you mentioned earlier. Of course, it's Macaulay's younger brother, Kieran Culkin, who played Fuller McAllister. The 8-year-old Kieran, Macaulay's real-life younger brother, played Kevin McAllister's cousin in Home Alone. He went on to appear in a number of movies like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Igby Goes Down, Movie 43, and The Cider House Rules. He stars on the hit HBO series Succession as Roman Roy and was nominated for a Golden Globe in 2018 for his performance. And then he's also been in a car commercial. I want to say a Volkswagen or a Buick commercial with some other big star. But yeah, I think he's actually become more successful than his brother, who was the star of Home Alone.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, you know, for Macaulay Culkin, he had his run in the early 90s and it kind of fizzed, and his brother still continues to do things. But yeah, I do see him pop up and stuff, but he was pretty damn good in Scott Pilgrim. That movie, go back and watch it sometime. It's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and in this picture, he looks a lot like my younger brother, Alex, which is kind of strange. But I digress. In any case, folks, that does it for whatever happened to the cast of Home Alone. When we come back, we're headed to the final segment of the show, and you know that what that means. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show.
Well, we did it, Tone. We made it through to the end of the show, almost to the end of the show, without any technical glitches, without our broadcaster failing on us. Of course, there is time.
Like 11 more minutes. You can't jinx that.
I know. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Thursday, December 3rd. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts, whether it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
No, I'm not.
You and Bob Barker just brought on Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. In any case, while you are there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think. And tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. We care so much that we want to drop a little knowledge on you now. Hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
First in the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right, kicking off This Day in History, this day in 1678, Edmund Halley receives an MA from the Queen's College in Oxford. Tony, for 2,000 points, can you tell us what Edmund Halley discovered?
Lauren Holly, star of the female star of Dumb and Dumber.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
No, I have no idea.
Edmund Halley discovered Halley's Comet.
Oh, I just saw Halley's Comet. She's pretty.
Thanks, Brent. All right, moving on this day in 1736. This one is for our super fans, Mike and Lacey. Astronomer Anders Celsius takes measurements that confirm Newton's theory that the Earth was an ellipsoid rather than the previously accepted sphere, or if you ask many people today, it's just flat.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I like the name Anders.
I do too. I think more kids need to be named Anders.
Absolutely.
If only there was somebody kicking off that trend.
Great young little fan of the show and a great bass player, formerly of the Volbeat.
Moving on, this day in 1847, abolitionist Frederick Douglass publishes the first issue of his newspaper, North Star. Is that required reading for you, Tony? You picking up the latest issue of North Star?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I have a subscription next to my highlights and, my Time Weekly or Time Magazine. Yeah, I guess Time's not weekly.
You go from highlights to Time Magazine.
Yeah. You got to be diverse, man. You got to be diverse.
All right, let's move on. This day in 1854, get that accent ready, Tony. In what is claimed by many to be the birth of Australian democracy, more than 20 gold miners at Ballarat, Victoria, are killed by state troopers in an uprising over mining licenses. And,
Corky, state troopers and licenses. Big gap. What got to do? I don't know what else to say. Corky. That's all I got.
You started out strong and just took a dive from
there.
there.
It's that umphy power, man. The brain just is not connecting today. It's a rough one.
Moving on with this day in history, here's one where I kind of wish that the site would give a little more information on what they tell us. This day in 1926, detective novelist Agatha Christie mysteriously disappears for 11 days. Okay, what happened?
Okay, yeah, what happened? All I know is, why are more girls not named Agatha?
Oh, such a
You dated an Agatha?
sexy name. Or a Mildred.
This is my girlfriend. Her name's Agatha. She likes Pilates, and she's a total gem. I like her. She only eats gluten-free stuff, okay? Agatha. Get it down.
I'm not up for the Agathas. I much prefer a Mildred or a Gertrude.
Oh, Gertrude's a good one. Agatha Gertrude Sanfilippo. You sexy beast.
Moving on this day in 1956, basketball icon Wilt Chamberlain makes his much-anticipated varsity debut, scores 52 points and grabs 31 rebounds, breaking both all-time Kansas records in an 87-69 nice win over Northwestern. Probably one of the greatest of all time, Wilt Chamberlain.
You Wilt the frickin' Stilt. Could you imagine if basketball players back then were getting max deals like Anthony Davis? Like, what's with this NBA and everyone getting max deals? We're going to send you to a 5-year, $10 quadrillion deal to play for my team. He's on fire! Boom shakalaka laka!
Boom shakalaka!
Ooh.
I had it handy.
That was the wrong boom.
Moving on. This day in history. This day in 1961, the Beatles meet their future manager, Brian Epstein, who is probably single-handedly responsible for their massive, massive fame.
Yeah, massive fame, but unfortunately did not manage those master recordings well. Way to go, Epstein.
No, I'm sure his pocket was nice and full while the band members...
He was well taken care of.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of music history, this day in 1967, assassination attempt is made on Bob Marley and others during concert rehearsals in Jamaica.
Fatality.
Ooh, why would anyone want to assassinate Bob Marley? He seemed like just a chill, free-loving, pot-smoking guy that just liked to play some reggae music.
Yeah, just a cool, chill dude.
He didn't seem like somebody that was a rowdy, just chill. At least, I don't know, maybe he was a complete douche. I don't know.
Who knows? And he's not around to ask, so.
No. Who?
Moving on this day.
Remind me of Bob Charlie from Super Punch-Out. Yeah. Bob Charlie! Who?
That's funny. And it's funny you bring up boxing, because this day in 1982, after losing his world welterweight boxing titles to Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns wins the WBC super welterweight crown in a majority points decision over Wilfred Benitez at the Superdome in New Orleans. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Sugar Ray Leonard when I was back in my previous life working for Mercedes-Benz. Had the joy of bringing him a couple cars, got to hang out with him and his wife, and just seeing his golden gloves, his belts, and all that. Couldn't be a nicer guy, and probably one of the biggest names in boxing history.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say, he always seemed like a really nice guy, even in interviews. Very humble. Didn't create a lot of controversy. Just went out there, laid it in the ring, and hell of a boxer, man.
Yeah, that he certainly was. Going from one ring to the other, this day in 1991, Hulk Hogan defeats The Undertaker at this Tuesday in Texas at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio to become the 4th time WWF champion at that time. not the World Wildlife Foundation.
The old wrestling days were actually pretty cool. Like those titles, they meant more, things like that. Nowadays, I don't know. They just change hands all the time. And do they mean anything? I mean, it's so cartoony.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so many different belts. There's so many different things that people can win. It sort of takes the fun out of just, one belt or two belts, the Intercontinental and then the heavyweight
I
championship.
loved actually when we were kids and like you didn't know wrestling was fake and it was just like it was so entertaining. Like it has some good stuff and I'm not saying it's not entertaining, but just back then it was great because you just didn't know. You're like, oh my god, the Undertaker just lost the thing. I think he was a bad guy at that time too.
He might have been the
he might have been if
NWA.
it was Hulk Hogan, which never was a Hogan guy. Didn't like Hogan.
No.
I still actually don't care for Hogan at all.
If it's any surprise, I'm sure you were more of a Macho Man guy.
Oh yeah! In fact, they just released at Walmart. It's a Walmart exclusive. A Funko Macho Man Randy Savage pop.
Did they really?
You damn right. Now I'm on the lookout for that one.
That's cool. Moving on.
And then GameStop is releasing a Nature Boy Ric Flair one from the '92 Royal Rumble.
Fun.
Yeah, two of my faves. Ric Flair was always a spaz. You always gotta love that.
Just more to add to your Funko Pop collection.
Yeah, I say I'm not gonna buy anymore, but for a Macho Man Randy Savage, it's definitely going to happen. I go figure I don't have a Savage thing. I got a Rick.
The cream of the crop!
All right. This day in 2017, the first pizza party in space is held by astronauts on the International Space Station. Okay, that's
It's a
cool.
pizza party in space with Totino's Pizza. We baked it before we flew to space. It's Totino's Pizza. Delicious.
Sponsored by
Especially the
Totino's.
square pepperonis. I like it.
And finally, this day in history, 2019, just a year ago, Spotify says Drake is the most streamed star of the 2010s with 28 billion streams. Ed Sheeran's Shape of You is the most streamed track with 2.4 billion streams. It's a lot of streams.
That is a lot of streams. It's amazing when they say don't cross the streams. You just stream it though, baby. Don't cross it.
And then finally, as we head to the end of the show, let's run down some of today's holidays, shall we?
Holiday!
Celebrate! What's funny is it always cuts you out at the end of holiday for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's because it's a long drag out.
All right. Oh, before I choke.
Oh, yeah, it's this day in holiday history, man.
Today is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. I think that there's probably a more contrite way to say that.
Better way to say that?
Yeah. For instance, like today is Let's Hug Day. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Today is Make a Gift Day. Don't buy one, make one. It is National Apple Pie Day. That sounds delicious. It is National Green
Jim
Bean.
Levitt's liked one.
It is National Green Bean Casserole Day. That doesn't sound as delicious. And it is National Roof Over Your Head Day. I'm thankful I've got one. Folks, that does it for Thursday. When we come back tomorrow, rounding out the week with good news, everyone. Enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.
See ya. And it was Jim Levinstein. I screwed it up.
You're listening